Hey, welcome back. This is Jack. Y'all know me. Sorry, I got my monitor phone over here and it's making noise. I don't like it. Silence on that thing. Yeah, sorry about yesterday's stream. Like I was streaming early in the morning and then I pushed the wrong button and everything went confunky. I was actually really happy I'd had gotten everything all look good. I did set this up. We got a screen for when I'm like just wanting to talk to y'all guys, and the picture over there doesn't matter. Oh, I got a button set up that I really do enjoy. Hang on, I'll show you. There it went. Okay, cool. I'll flip back to. I don't have a hot button on this screen for that. Hang on, I'll just click on it. Fix that. As you can see on my desktop, there are now no shortcuts. You do not see them. They are missing. They're gone. And why? Because maybe I don't want you to see what kind of desktop things I have in there. I might have a porn folder on the desktop. Y'all don't know. Actually, y'all know me. I'd 100% better to do with my life. Ah, damn it! I fucked up. Ah! There we go. Let's go back to full. Yeah, I got all these nice buttons that do things for me. Anyway, all right. Let's see if this fixed itself because like it was saying that I'm not streaming to the other channels, but I can check all my sources for it. And it's like, yeah, we're streaming, we're fine, we're live. I'm like, all right, cool. All right. So there's a couple things I want to talk about. I wanted to rant about that are some are in the news. Some is just as I want to talk about it. Some things are just fun. But we're gonna kill a little time here. So if anybody's wondering, I'm wearing my cloak from Cloak Brand because I'm changing up my diet a bit. Like my diet is still heavy protein, but it's reducing the protein a little bit and adding in more vegetables and stuff like that. So my body's like every time I change my diet a little bit, I start feeling actually being able to feel cold. I don't like it really. Um, I'm just wearing this. I can just hide underneath, warm up my arms a little bit. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt. T-shirt. I'm not wearing my tank top. Plus it's Dead Space. I love Dead Space, especially the remake. Y'all can see my. I've got several stories I'm going to talk about. Some are political, I'll admit. Warn you. And as an additional note, I don't know if it's going to work this way because no one's tested it yet. But if you say something in YouTube, the Twitch audience should also see it now. Not just on my screen, but it should pop up in both. I don't know how that's going to look in the chat window there. And if it does do that, then I might turn that off. It's supposed to be a bot thing from stream because that's how I'm in both. I'm using Reach. Arguably, you can just use two instances of OBS and then just like do a bunch of macros that change both simultaneously. Mind you, technically you can use the same scene for both, same scenes for both. Just one is using one profile versus like that's just taking a, especially if you're playing a video game, a lot of CPU. um, I did record a video today and I've edited it. It's actually already uploaded. I just got to make a thumbnail for it and fill out all the description stuff. But I'm thinking I won't release that video until Saturday. I need to do shorts. Like during the weekdays, I'm going to do shorts, and then on the weekend, I'll drop at least one full length video, maybe two, because my Saturdays and Sundays. And the one I released Sunday about shows you how good my perception at time. About what is hockey and Piece actually has done really good. I'm really proud of myself. This is over on the Coffee Over Gaming channel for those who don't have like channels. Mind you, the Coffee Over Politics one. I'm actually gonna start putting stuff on it. Probably just excerpts from. It's gonna be a low effort. Because I am gonna rant about. I'm also considering if I want to start doing some podcast stuff with Gothic. Let's talk. If that gets popular, I'll move it over to my fourth channel, which is actually my original very first channel called The Geek's Perspective, which is actually that logo you see over there. Over there. I use it as a wallpaper. That was created by a guy I served with, a very good friend of mine. Used to be. I don't know if we talk. He hasn't talked to me in a while. But he created that logo for me back in 2015, 2016. And I refused to get rid of it because I was actually going to 3D print little bow ties like fuck all. So speaking of logos, I want something I'm really proud of myself. I made this. Let's see here. Um, this is the first variant I did. This is the first variant I did, and you're gonna actually see it in my I go to break screen, um, and I'm really proud of it. It was just a concept I had of like your coffee needing coffee, I think the black and white version fits like my CRT screen stuff, so that you're gonna see that on my when I go to break instead of how it was before. That's a new addition. It doesn't. And then the other version of it, this one actually I might turn into a set of stickers that people can buy if they want. Went back, redesigned it with color, and yeah, like the lines are not straight and stuff. That's intentional. Yep, I did. Cool. Restream offers that and it's free, and I was like, fuck it, I'll turn it on to see if it works. So yay, you just confirmed it does, and I appreciate it. But yeah, this is the other one I made. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on T-shirts or anything like that. It'll probably be on coffee mugs, at least stickers, just because I felt it was oddly appropriate. And like this is a small thing. I'm actually really proud about how several things I did because I've been learning to draw for a bit, and I take breaks from it randomly. But like the ability to make the stain look right there, because I'm really bad at doing that. I just really am for some reason. And also the look of like there being a slight bit of milk in it or something like that made me really happy. Like I think I'm definitely improved from like my early days of sketching and coloring. Now I seem to be better at doing like a cartoonish look. It's good to see you around, Dawson. How's your day treating you? We're just doing a vibing day today. I'm not even supposed to stream today, obviously, but I really didn't have a real stream yesterday, so I was like, screw it, I'll stream today. And I've already gotten all the work I wanted to done today, except for like once again getting my apartment still straightened up because I keep getting distracted. Someone jingles keys around me. I do have my second desk set up. I'm pretty happy about that. Zane's already found it. It's actually my original desk from back before I got the standing desk that I currently use. I just disassembled it and put it to the side. And then when I moved to the new space, I realized I had enough space for the desk to sit right next to it. So now I have a giant ass U shape. That one's gonna have my little Chromebook thing I got. Well, don't be sick anymore. That's the secret. Just stop being sick. You know, people tell me to stop being poor all the time. So can't that work with just being sick? Just don't be sick. Actually, people tell me that don't be depressed anymore. It doesn't work. But yeah, I'm gonna have my Chromebook on it, and I eventually want to throw a 3D printer on it, so I have like a space to build like Raspberry Pi stuff. I want to build a drone specifically to fuck around with my cat. 20. They're doing construction outside, really loud. um, trying to think. But no, like I'm really proud of myself. I've been like my sleep pattern is still 7 stages of food art. Oh, so here's something going on. Like I'm gonna give y'all some backstory. Here's how my last couple nights have been. One I was already not sleeping well to begin with, but then I was installing. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bidet. I was installing a bidet into the toilet, and then I go to like disconnect the water line. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know how to shut off the water pressure to this because there's a different type of connection than I've ever seen before. So I just didn't want to mess with it. So I was like, screw it, I'll just return it. It's too much effort to try and get maintenance to help me and all that stuff. But I go to put my cat litter back, my cat litter box back, and I think I pushed it back too hard or something. But I do it, and then there's a slight leak from the cable. It was like so little that I was just gonna lay a towel underneath it and let it catch the little drops that were coming. It was no big deal. So I throw in a maintenance request. Hey, just come take care of this. It's not a big deal. Even if they showed up not until because this is actually Saturday, Saturday to Sunday. If they didn't show up until Monday, I still would have been fine. I just may have had to switch towels. That little of a drop. It was no big deal. But I sent out that maintenance request like 15 minutes later. Not even 15 minutes later. I hear whoosh, and the water line comes completely off the toilet, just completely off. It just woo, everywhere. And so I go into DC repair mode, and I go in there, grab the cable, and I was able to fight the water pressure, able to get it on, tighten it on. It was janky ass connection. And by the time I'm done, it's like quarter-inch of water on the floor. Thankfully, it barely got to the carpet. In fact, I think the carpet was only wet because I had to run out at some point to go find my pipe wrench to throttle it down until it stopped leaking. Um, thankfully, and then I sent out a new request telling them on the update, like, hey, it came completely off. I got the water off the deck or off the floor, and it's not leaking anymore. But you might want to come take a look at the threading because it just came off. Try finger butthole. Hey, Patrick. Um, and since I'm talking about a toilet line, water line coming off, that's oddly appropriate. And the whole reason that even happened was because I was putting in a bidet. That's like oddly appropriate. No, because I do need to play a new Elden Ring game playthrough because I deleted all my old ones because I just wasn't playing anymore, and I just didn't. So if I did play again, I want to start over. Hey, guess what? The new DLC's coming, so I want to start over. So anyway, I already have a save going. I'm punching things and I'm doing stuff. I forget the other words I was looking for. Oh, and I'm trying not to summon things. I already beat Magritte, whoever the first version of him is. Magritte, whichever. On the bridge. So anyway, we got all that taken care of. So my adrenaline's pumping for a long time just because of the suddenness, the craziness of it. And this is before maintenance comes in. I finally doze off about 7, 8 a.m. in the morning. They show up at noon, wake me up because I told them to call me so I'd wake up. Go through that, and I really didn't sleep. So the next night, I'm dozing. I actually went to bed a little early. I'm dozing. And then the fire alarm goes off at like 3 in the morning. Some asshole kid decide, hey, I'm going to pull the fire alarm. All right, fuck you too then. No, I think this is Monday morning, effectively. Yeah, it sounds like it. Monday morning. So I end up just going back over to my dad's to grab a couple things because he's awake at this point because he goes to work pretty early. And so I'm over there just hanging out with him for a little bit while they deal with the fire alarm stuff. It turns out there was no fire, just obviously the kid pulled it. And my day goes on. Y'all saw the stream yesterday and how that went down. Fucked up a lot. I did get a lot done with the Warhammer 40k game. Pretty happy about that. And then this morning, I actually went to bed. I was getting some sleep. And then the fire alarm goes off again. Some kid is pulling it at 5 in the morning. So I ran over and just grabbed the rest of the stuff from my desk. I did do some baking. I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, but so y'all are caught up on all the weird drama of some kid pulling a fire alarm and all that other stuff. I need to look at the camera. I have a habit of looking down or looking at that. Thank you very much. That's the cliff notes on y'all caught up on all the stuff that happened in the most. All right, I got a couple of stories I want to talk about now that y'all have heard about my life. Let's go to the other stuff. I still have Chrome up. All right, stuff to do. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Streams. All right, let's start from the top. So I'm a Persona 5 fan. I'm a Persona fan as a whole. I'm a little late to the game on that, but I do like Persona. Oh, moving the wrong thing. Come on. Oh, there, right in front of me. They're doing a new Persona 5 game. Oh, I'm in the way. I'm not moving myself. They're doing a Persona 5 game, but it happens to be the Phantom X, and it happens to be a mobile game. I don't know how to feel about this. Yeah, I'm assuming that saying it's a Persona 5 game means it takes place in the Persona 5 universe, because each one is slightly different from the other, and I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm very interested, and right now it's only being released in China, so we don't know if it's even going to come to America at all. But I'm on the fence about it being a phone game because I'm generally rather sus about. There was a Yeah, that was bothering me. A little sus about every phone game that comes out because you see what happened with Diablo Immortal, which is why I didn't get into the beta for Diablo 4 at all. Because I'm like, y'all already fucked up. I don't trust you. I don't know how to feel about that. But I hope you I hope you all have some thoughts on this, because like I'm torn on how to feel about this, because if it's returning to the Persona 5 universe, I feel it can be a lot of fun, but if it's a game just riddled with these freaking micro transactions and a season pass and all that stuff, it might have some issues. I'll drop this article in chat for everyone. You want to read it? There you go. All right. Let's see here. Next story to talk about. All right, we do have some political stuff we're going to talk about. We'll do the political stuff first.
There's talk about.
All right, so this is the Young Turks. I'm pretty sure some of y'all know who they are. They're pretty left leaning by default. But whatever.
Making this a Christian nation and people wanting this to be a Christian nation.
This bothers
How do
me,
you feel
but we're going to talk
that?
about this.
I feel very, very strongly about it. I mean, I know we are a country of freedom here, but I am very, very strong and for this becoming a Christian nation.
What about former President Trump and, not being terribly religious, not being a church guy?
Believes in God, So, there you have it.
Do you think President Biden believes in God?
No, not at all. He worships.
All right. So let's talk about that. I'm going to go full screen on this one because I got a lot of talking. All right. So the first guy says, hey, we need to become a Christian nation. We have never been a fucking Christian nation. Our founding fathers were not Christian. In fact, a lot of them were theist at best. In fact, I think one of them wrote I think it was Thomas Jefferson was straight up atheist or damn near close. I know Ben Franklin was questionable at best. And they're like, oh, hey, no, we're a Christian. We have never been one. The only time Christianity started... I disagree because I don't like the idea of revoking people's rights to vote. But I really feel that, like, if you are a zealot, a brainless fucking zealot like some of these people, or you run on or if you're in office saying your religion guides you and you're refusing to listen to logic and reason, you should not be in office. It shouldn't disqualify you, but as a public, we should look at you like you're a fucking idiot. And for the record, I'm not atheist. I would fall under Buddhist at best. I'm weird. I'm not going to talk about my religious beliefs. And if you're religious, cool, more power to you. I don't care. Anyway. But the reason why I'm ranting about this being it is not a Christian nation. This is why it bothers me. People keep saying it. They're like, well, it's on our money and God we trust. That wasn't added until the 1980s under Ronald Reagan, and it was to make a difference between us and communism or communist Russia, who were their public religion was atheism, which you can't say that's not a thing. You can't be my religion is atheism because atheism is the absence of religion. Now, I do have a belief in faith structure, but that's whatever. That's a personal thing. I'll talk about it if people ask, but it's just not important. So that part bothers me alone. And then he also goes on to say, well, I don't care if you have your religion, but it's our the country's religion is English. The country's religion is Christianity. Okay, which version? Catholicism? Baptism? Lutheranism? Give me which one? You don't know because you don't know your own fucking text. I can guarantee you. Let's see here. She's got some stuff too.
Christian. I do.
There needs to be a fucking Great Wall of China between church and state. Religion should not be... As I said a moment ago, I do not like it when you have these religious fucking nut jobs get into office and like, well, my religion says blah. Like Ted fucking Cruz. Like, I hate that guy. I really do not like Ted Cruz. I really do not. He's a weaselly, swarmy person. He uses religion as his backing for everything he does. Just so you understand one of the big reasons I don't like him. That part too, I'll get to that in a second. Because I'll do a rant on that alone. That's a separate rant now. But the reason I don't like him is when Texas was, people were freezing to death. People in his state were freezing to death. He flew to Cancun. He went with his family to Cancun. He left the country while the people of his state he represents were dying. And he left his dog behind named Snowball as a kicker. I do not like him. He is a swarmy, disgusting person. All right. When he was in state office, he tried to make a law on how many sexual toys you were allowed to have in the house, reducing it down to 2. He wanted, and this was the wording of it, you're only allowed to have 2 dildos in a household at a time. Can't regulate guns, but we can regulate how you have sex. Fuck off. Really don't like that. I know, like, I'm going to be cursing a lot in this one, just a heads up. Like, if you're using your religion to say, I can't do something, go to hell. Go to your hell, specifically. Or I hope your life becomes that. I think I might need to make chat bigger for people to see it. But that's how I feel about that. Like, I know I'm probably being more vicious about it than I need to, but I really don't like it. And like the abortion argument is a big deal to me. That's a very big fucking deal to me. You have how many states right now that are not only making it illegal to get an abortion at almost any point, but also if you help in any way, you can get in trouble. Oh, and additionally, you have, I think it's Texas, who's passing a law that says if you know somebody in another who gets an abortion in another state or performs an abortion in another state, you can sue them for money. Women are getting sick and dying. Oh, and a lot of these states that are making a law against it are not making exceptions for rape. And if they do, you have to file this long ass police report. You have to prove it happened before you can get the abortion. Oh, and then by the way, even if you do prove all this, you still are like before a certain week ban. So you first have to find out you're pregnant, prove that it was because of rape, and then go get it. Oh wait, time's up. You're gonna have the kid. Oh, and then while we're at it, by the way, I can't remember which state. I want to say it was Alabama. They refused to ban child marriages because that's used as a form of protection for exactly that. Kids, 13-year-olds are being forced to marry adults because they got raped and they don't want to have a kid out of wedlock. Welcome to fucking America. Keep going. Oh, and then the whole Biden is not religious when Trump is. Yeah, fuck off. Trump takes a shit on a golden toilet, and I'm not joking.
I do. Founded on that?
No, we weren't.
Democrats are changing.
No, we're protecting what we had. No, we didn't. Nope. Yo, got twisted to become religious, which is not. All right, I'm getting too pissed off. I'm gonna stop there. Let's talk about what you just said. Oh yeah, you asked a specific question. Yes, they did, Dawson, and what you said, Amor. Any website based in America that follow all the different laws on the marriage and abortion in different states? There probably is. I don't know. I'd have to do some research. By the way, if I share a video and you guys want the direct link to it, so you can either follow those people, you can watch the full video yourself, let me know and I'll drop it in chat anytime. I don't have mods to do it for me, but that's whatever. Anyway, moving on. So you asked a question earlier. What are my thoughts on church and state? Oh, Dawson said this. Church should not be funded by the government or any of that stuff. I agree. All churches, every single one of them need to pay damn taxes. That's not a separation of church and state issue. It's the fact that churches can hoard a fuck ton of money and get away with it. I'm going to look up a single word to prove my point. All right, you ready for it? Hang on. There's actually a group of pastors called the Prosperity Gospels. Okay, gospel guys, and their belief is you give money to the church and God will give you the money back in multiples. I need to move. Hang on. He'll give you the money back and then some. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like that. I probably need to adjust it so it only does my upper body. I want to get rid of tax exempt status over a certain amount. Once the church gets to a certain size, then it gets taxed. Because these are called mega churches. They pay nothing in taxes. Will you fucking stop zooming in and out? All right, we're gonna turn that off. Hang on, that's pissing me off. All right, there we go. So like if it's your little like neighborhood church, fuck off. Like that doesn't need to get taxed. Kenneth Copeland, who has several private jets, he needs to be fucking taxed. I'm not joking. Here's Kenneth Copeland, by the way. This is Kenneth Copeland. Dude looks like a fucking demon. And he has like this horrible, evil laugh too, which is the worst part. Anyway, Christian schools should not be privately funded. If you're going to teach religion in school, nope. It has to be privately funded, not federally funded. I don't care. We'll get to education in a minute. But these churches, these millionaires who use religion to harvest their money need to be taxed and stop hiding behind. Oh, and it gets worse. How many of these fuckers, these people who stand on the pulpit, preach hate, preach politics? Because that's actually one of the rules. If you are a church, you're not supposed to talk politics. You are not allowed to preach politics. And what do? They do exactly that, and they get away with it. There's actually forms you can submit to, I think it's the IRS or the government as a whole, that says, hey, this church is preaching politics. They need to be taxed. They need to lose their status. But they don't. It doesn't get enforced that much, especially if a Republican's in charge. And if a Democrat does it, then they're like, oh, we're attacking religion. We'll get in trouble. Yeah, fuck off. These people are horrible. Actually, hang on. There's a good one I gotta show y'all. Hang on, let's see if I can find it. A good example of these prosperity gospel fuckers. There's a guy known as the Bling Pastor. Hang on, here we go. Let's see if I can find it. His name is the Bling Bishop. Like, he got robbed, which is what brought him to a lot of national attention. Let's see if this has got it, what I'm looking for. Hang on. I'm trying to see if they've got this segment I'm looking for. All right, I've already stopped caring. Now, as you can see in the top right, he got arrested for fraud. But no, like specifically what he did, like he got robbed, which brought every attention. He had like gold chains around his neck and shit that got taken. He should, like, a pastor should not have that. That bothers me. But beyond that, he had a sermon where he started it by telling his flock, or whatever you want to call them, hey, y'all know I wanted that Armani watch, but none of y'all got it. Some of y'all are skipping on that on the money to the church. That's what he said. I feel guilty if I ask for bit donations. I feel guilty if I ask for subscriptions or memberships, depending on which way. I feel guilty asking for you to subscribe or follow my channel. And this fucker gets on stage and going and says, in the word of God, you need to buy me an Armani watch. You have Kenneth Copeland going, God says you need to get me another private jet. Because if you ride in public airfare, you're going into a long tube full of demons. Those are his exact fucking words, maybe slightly paraphrased. And these guys claim I'm speaking the word of God. You want to talk church? What is it? One, the 10 Commandments are gone anyway, because when Jesus got rid of the original, the Old Testament, and said, "Here are your new commandments," and I forget what they were. It was basically like love others, whatever. Anyway, but in the 10 Commandments, it says, "Do not take the Lord's name in vain." Even then, that shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't be a thing. The way it sounded like he was saying that the watch needed to be a tithe. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. Where was I? I lost it. Lost the thread. Yeah, it's gone. Shows you how fucking messed up my brain is. Like, these guys are not a joke. Oh no, like, so for the record, if like one of these big successful churches goes, hey, we do need a private plane, and it's meant for delivering cargo and stuff like that to people, like people in need, like, hey, you see Louisiana get flooded again for the umpteenth time. Hey, we're gonna fly a plane out there with people to help rebuild. We're gonna fly people out there with medical supplies, food, all that stuff. If they wanted to do that, cool. I'm fine with that. If a church wants to become like a rescue kind of thing, like a national support thing, I gotta turn the camera. Cool, do it. I support that. But that's not what they're doing. They're buying literal private jets that billionaires fly in on the regular. Why? Because they want to. And that's just the way of things are. These are what's called a prosperity gospel preacher, and they piss me off. Oh yeah, I was talking about what I was saying before. One of the commandments is thou shalt not take thy Lord's name in vain. People misinterpret it saying, I can't say God. I can't say God damn it. I can't say God go fuck yourself kind of thing. I can't say shit like that. What it actually was translated into in the original text by Hebrew text, translated into do not speak for God. Do not say this is what God would want you to do. And that's what they do all the time. That's all they do. They say, God wants you to give me money so I can go buy a private jet, so I can buy this mansion, so I can buy my next private jet, so I can buy this Bentley. And that's why I don't like these religious people, and that's what bothers me. And then you have the because I'm from the South and I had to deal with Southern Baptists. You have these Southern Baptists who are fanatic, who are fucking scary as hell. Yeah. And yeah. That's enough on the religious rant. If y'all want me to go back into it, let me know. So I do want to talk about this real fast. This is super quick because it's in a similar vein. Donald Trump is supposed to be arrested sometime soon because, like, he said it was going to be today. He personally announced it was supposed to be today. But when it is, we don't know. Because of a court case in New York with Stormy Daniels about how he spent money he shouldn't have. And his cult around him, I'm vaguely afraid he's going to do like something's going to happen. Like you have January 6th where he lost the election and they tried to overthrow the government. Like this is going to be even scarier. You already hear a lot of his cult followers being very vocal and very loud. Kind of scary. So you got that. Anyway. He can technically run from prison. If he goes to jail, is in prison wearing an orange jumpsuit, he can still run for president. He can be president while in jail. Nothing stops it. The only thing that could happen is there's like a weird federal policy that if like we were 60 days out from an election, he doesn't have to go to court, he doesn't get arrested, or he can't be arrested and he can't go to jail during that time. Investigations can still happen, but they're not allowed to put out press releases or anything like that, not be public about it. Yeah, if he went to jail and won an election, he would try to pardon himself. He had actually also tried to pardon everybody who tried to protect him. He would pardon all of his brown shirts, is the way it's being described best. This is effectively what it is. Like, it's simultaneously scary, and at the same time, I feel like the true colors of parts of America are starting to be revealed, and in a very good way and a bad way. All right. I do have something funny to show, but once again, I'm going to save that for a little bit just because, like, I want to get past some of the more depressing stuff first. Oh, here's something funny. Here's something funny. Anybody if you're a Hunter x Hunter fan, you'll appreciate this. I'm not going to play the video because that would give me a copyright strike, and I don't want that. Let's see here. This button. Let's go to the other one. Go small. Y'all can see it better. So this is when Killua actually went back and got his Hunter license, which you don't have to know what that means. But the part that I absolutely like is the name of the video. Like, this actually just made me laugh my ass off. Hunter exam speedrun, no hit. As somebody who follows a lot of speedrun stuff, that title just got me giggling. I'm not going to lie. Made me happy. All right. So there's something funny right there. Because I have actually a folder tab that's just a bunch of stories I accumulate and I want to talk about. All right, let's see here. Talked about that. Oh, hang on. This might be a continuation of something I was talking about. Anybody I talk about, do not go harass. Do not reach out to them. None of that. Oh, yeah, here we go. The big one. This is a big one. So, Nazis were literally marching in New York? Yeah, they were marching in New York. So, there was a drag queen story hour, which is where a person is dressed in drag, reads books to kids. Now, this is not a sexualized version. Yeah, it's not the official title. It's just, that's on Crunchyroll, actually. That's the Crunchyroll version of it. That's what made it funny. Anyway, so a drag time story hour is where someone in drag and they're not sexualized drag, they're just wearing a dress effectively, is reading books to kids. That's what a drag time story hour is. It's nothing sexual or anything. If you see a man in a dress and think that's sexual by default, you might want to think about your own preferences there. Anyway, so Nazis were marching in New York. Not, oh, I'm calling them Nazis. They were carrying swastikas. They are Nazis. And they got chased out, actually, by the way. That's the best part. They got chased out of New York by New Yorkers. I love it. But here are the police. Turn that down. Here are what the police are doing. They're protecting the and then they start pushing down the protesters of the Nazis. Doing the Sieg Heil and everything. But the police are protecting the Nazis, the literal Nazis, from the counter-protesters. Now you could argue, yes, they're trying to prevent a fight and all that stuff, but the cops are assaulting the counter-protester. They're pushing them to the ground and hurting them. And that's okay. There's no charges going to be brought to any of those cops, I can guarantee you. Oh, I had it shrunk. Not in America. Nope. Not in America. In Germany it is. You do that in Germany, you go to jail. Like, even if you do it as a joke, you're going to jail. Not in Germany, though. Or not in America. America, we still got Confederate statues up. People who literally tried to overthrow the American government, let's build a statue of them. But it's there for historical reasons. That statue's been around since 1960s. A lot of them were put up because of the civil rights movement. Fuck off. Yep. I forgot. I didn't realize I had it still shrunk over there. I'm sorry. I should have went to the other screen. Let's see. Here's another one. This one is still a depressing topic, but it's not the same vein. Let's start. I'm gonna go to the small screen for this one so you guys can keep it in view. This guy, Byron Johnson. I'm gonna move myself down so you guys. That Byron Johnson. He stupid rich, okay? Spends $2 million a year for his 18-year-old body to make himself appear and feel as if he was 18. He was in the news over that. It was a big deal. Left his fiancée because she got breast cancer. As you guys can read, I was taking my time. So this article, I got this from Ask Aubrey, so I would recommend following her. She's really good. She does a good job of cultivating creepy ass men. That's effectively how they act and how they behave. And this is an example. This kind of mentality, this mindset bothers me. I don't even know where to begin with how messed up this is. That means, now arguably, okay, there is the possibility that he married her on the press. She married him on the he's rich, and he was going to marry her because she was a trophy wife. So he had no real feelings for her. He just wanted somebody permanently on his arm to walk around with. That's possible. But the fact that a person feels this way, who lives their life that way, bothers me. In both sides. But I'm going to still hate him because he's abandoning someone he at least pretended to love publicly because she got breast cancer. Because she got sick. And not only that, apparently kicked her out of the home. Didn't just like, hey, we're not married, we're not going to get married anymore, but hey, you can live here for a little bit as you get treatment. No, fuck off. Get the hell out of here. This property that I wanted is now broken. That's how this guy feels. And you also can guess I hate Andrew Tate for exact kind of mindset. Also, what he says about depression, that pisses me off too. All right, what's this one? Because I save these and I forget I don't like retitle them or anything. Oh, here's one I remember picking this one up. I was talking about Donald Trump being arrested. Whoever the fuck this guy is. Yeah. And it's not going to work. It just makes him look younger. It's just a shit ton of plastic surgery. I was talking about this. I don't know who this guy is. I have no fucking clue. I don't care. Anyway. The United States of America does not, I don't think this is his actual voice, but I'm going to use it, does not jail its presidents. We just don't do it. If it happens, if they cuff President Trump, everything changes. The consequences will be profound. The retribution will be never ending. The plan will backfire as Trump becomes the next Mandela. Fuck all kinds of off. I'm going to do full. Here's why you can fuck all kinds of off on this. If a person, I don't care about their history, what job title they used to have, breaks the motherfucking law, they need to be punished and go to jail. Period. You have Ronald Reagan avoid jail because he got a patsy, I'm going to call them, in the form of General South, whatever the fuck his name was. When he was selling America arms to Contra. No, he was selling them to Iran, Afghan rebels. No, to Iran to help overthrow that country so that they could give the money they got from that to Contra. Or was it so they were selling drugs to Contra to get arms to give to Iran? One or the other. That's what they were doing with American money to do this. And when it became revealed, what did they do? Well, it was him. Him and George H.W. Bush got away with this level of, I'm going to call it fucking treason. And they should have been in jail. Then you have George W. Bush. Yeah, George W. Bush. Okayed enhanced interrogation, aka torture, and got away with it. Why? Obama gets in office and goes, we look forward, not backward. Then you never punish a crime. Crime almost only happens in the past. You can only get stuff that's premeditated. Whatever, I'm not going to get into that part. Yes, correct. But they authorized it and still need to be fucking punished. We have something called the RICO Act for a reason, for shit like that. But no, they get away with it. They get away with it. Hang on a second. Like my favorite whipping boy. Yeah, exactly. George Santos, my favorite whipping boy when it comes to talking about how stupid politics is. He's being busted for reveal that he was the criminal mastermind behind a credit card scheme. A massive credit card scheme. He literally stole money from a homeless vet who was trying to get treatment for his dying dog. This man is incompetent, stupid, and evil. And he's still in office because he's one of the only 5 votes they have in the House to protect the Republican majority. They will not remove him like they can't. They won't even hold a vote, no matter what, because it protects those in power. And I'm not even secretive on like how I feel about this shit. They sit on committees, yes, and he's on like some pretty big committees too. So in American politics, you have committees. So, like, if there's a vote going through about could we increase the budget for the military, which the answer is yes every time. We're almost at $1 trillion. We're actually about at $1 trillion every year, but that's another conversation. I'm not going to go into that rant. It goes through a committee. Like the bill gets created through a committee and voted on and polished, and then it gets put to the general thing. He's on a couple committees, not any super powerful ones, but he's on a committee. He shouldn't be allowed to. He shouldn't be in a committee. He should have a standing vote at most, or get kicked out of fucking Congress because they can refuse to seat him. And you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert, who were straight up aides to the January 6th insurrection. They're still in power. In fact, they were rewarded recently, given seats of power within Congress. Just fuck them, right? Or fuck us, right? Right. Okay, we're on to the final funny thing I had saved. So, hang on, we're gonna full screen this one. So, my good buddy, Swed2, I have an interview with him where we talk about his experience with schizophrenia. Is actually a really good interview. It got demonetized on the channel, but it's still here. It was actually one of my early coffee over gaming segments, even though it wasn't about geek stuff at all. It technically would be the first coffee over politics, but I hadn't thought of that concept yet. Anyway, longer conversation. It's in the channel if you want to hear me talk with him about his experiences. He shared this and he described it how to look 60 in a couple seconds. This is somebody training for high G forces. I love this. This is so fucking funny. Like, that's the pressure on her face. It's just folding her face to give these wrinkles that make her look older. Like, I'm not trying to make fun of the way she looks. It's just the experience. Like, I can't imagine my face how it would look. Oh shit, I'm not full screen. Not that one. There we go. Hang on. I'm gonna move myself again. Hang on. I'm gonna move myself over here. We're gonna play it again. I'm sorry. I thought that was full screen. I love this. This is so fucking funny. And once again, I'm not trying to make fun of the way she looks while this is going on. She's obviously going through very intense training. But just the idea of like someone like me sitting in there, just like watching my cheek folds go blur. And more power to her for being able to deal with that. 7G, 7.5 Gs, 7.5 times Earth gravity being pushed into her body, and she didn't pass out. Holy fuck. Like, she's probably training up to the 8G, but that's impressive. But at the same time, seeing it is hilarious. I make no apologies about that. But yeah, if anyone you want to see the interview for Swed2, it's in the channel. You guys can hit that up. And he talks about his experiences dealing with schizophrenia. I think it was a good interview. Like, I've had a couple good interviews I'm really proud of. Oh no, they are, but that's the one that Swed2 shared. Also, hi Cool Walker. How you doing? Oh, complete side note. Cool Walker does some D&D streams and they're pretty legit. Like, when I was having the whole water explosion crisis, I had his playing his stream. Oh no, that's common. Like, when dealing with high Gs, you pass out. I'm gonna drop a link to his channel. If you guys are interested in watching like him live stream or his D&D streams, I would hit him up, or at least toss him a follow. I'd appreciate that. /subscribe. Hang on, not that button. What am I looking for? I can do this. I know how to work the internet. All right, there we go. Like, yeah, toss him a subscribe over on YouTube. He does good content. He's also a good friend. He's been very supportive of me, like, pretty much ever since I got out of the military. All right. Do we want me to talk more politics or more humor stuff? Before I go into that, before I answer that, there is a game that I'm going to be hitting up at some point on stream. I don't know how much. I might even just do a Let's Play of it because I actually might dabble into doing Let's Plays again. Just something to throw on this channel so I have more content on here. Where is it? So, my good buddy Mad Techie, he got me a game. Oh, I have it installed, so it's up here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Wrong button. Is that it? No, it's Kerbal Space Program. Since we were talking about G's and stuff like that, I feel it's good to bring up. I might do this on stream. It's probably just gonna be me fucking around and banging my head against that wall. But it's because Kerbal Space Program 2 came out and it's still work. It's still a work in progress. But this one is like even rewarded by NASA going, holy fuck, y'all's physics and stuff is really fucking legit. And yeah, I'm probably gonna dabble with it, build rockets, blow them up, be really bad at the game. I'm looking for it. I'll probably do it on stream so y'all get to laugh at me. Might do some Let's Play stuff like where it's just highlights of the dumb shit I do. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. But I definitely will be starting to release more. I'm starting to warm up. I can take this off now. Ugh. I'll put that away properly later. Ugh. All right. Anybody got any stories you want me to rant about, talk about, anything like that? It's on a playlist. Oh, all your D&D stuff? Yeah, check out his D&D streams. Like once again, his D&D streams I feel a lot better than what I ever did. I think I'm still the better DM. I think I tell a better story. That's just my opinion. But he does a better job presenting it on a stream than I think I ever did. Yeah, level 20 or bust. That's my opinion. You can disagree, Cool Walker. I did do D&D streams back on this channel a while back. But I stopped because I was getting overly stressed and stuff. Plus, I end up hating myself when I'm streaming. Or not when I'm streaming, but when I'm running D&D games. I think I'm pathetic. But I remember, I actually do remember all the compliments and people saying I'm actually good. And then I bounce back. All right. I do want to ask the community this question. Someone has a poll. This is not me saying, hey, would you buy this or anything like that. This is me asking your opinion. I was showing this earlier. I'm showing it again. If I made this into stickers, at least stickers, maybe more things, but if I made this into stickers, do you think people would want it? Do you think anybody would actually be interested in this logo? Because I'm personally proud of how it came out, and I'll leave it at that. But I'm wondering if this would be worth putting on my neglected merch store. Which don't bother going to. Like, it's in the description, but don't bother going to because it's kind of pointless. There's nothing really good. Okay. So Cool Walker says yes. That's all the vote I needed. I just needed the one vote. One vote complete. One vote of yes. All right. Oh, and I got one cute picture for everybody while I'm already on this screen. I don't want my Discord over there. Let's see where it is. All right, here it is. I shared it with Sherry. So I was talking about my second desk. I was talking about the fact that I got my second desk put together. Here's Zane properly inspecting it. Additionally, so he loves jumping up on my desk. Me having second desk is a trap. It's a trick. It's fully put together now, by the way. It's a trap. It's a trick. So no one expects second desk. No, it's intentionally meant to be unsmooth. To me, it's meant to be because it's meant to look like the coffee mug's just like, yeah. Need to get a pillow for my back, possibly. Oh, for the desk? Possibly too. Like, no, he actually won't sleep on pillows for some reason. I'll put like a towel or a pillow for him to lay on. He'll lay next to it. He'll never lay on it. I've had a box that he loved to lay in, so I put a towel in it to make him more comfortable. He stopped laying in the box. The weirdest effing cat. Mind you, I've got a footstool he loves laying on. He stopped laying on it when we moved here, though. He sleeps everywhere else now. You'll sometimes see him coming out of my room. All of you worship Zane. He is adorable. He is my kitty cat. I'm always looking for like more projects to do on this channel. I need to just make the button come here instead. I'm always looking for more projects. I want to do like animations and stuff, but I think I might just make... No, I think it might be better for coffee over... I don't know. I want to do more projects for this channel than it's just me live streaming. It's not a bad thing. I just feel like those who follow this channel are missing out. Like I could definitely be doing more fuck around and find out content for here. That's why I'm like dabbling with possibly doing some Let's Plays again. Because I know I did some good highlight stuff back in the day. Which is a Tuesday. It's always a Tuesday. Like there's one right here. Hang on, we're going to my channel dashboard. Y'all get to see the behind the scenes stuff. Like here's all my behind the scenes stuff. You guys can see I have a shit ton. Let me full screen it. I have a shit ton of videos. Like I think I have over 1,000 somewhere. Because at one point I was uploading like 2 videos a day, and I did that for like a year. I did it for a good minute, and I stopped because it just became overwhelming. But I did make a video that I had a lot of fun with, because I used to do Phasmophobia with some of the other members of the Geeks Perspective. Which is kind of falling apart, but whatever. And this one I'm actually really proud of. Like,
research shows nostalgia can help you remember ads. So customize and save with Liberty Music.
all right, I'll ignore the ad. I have YouTube Premium on my primary account, not my work accounts.
Heads up, me, Sherrod.
And you also get to see like a fatter version of me.
But we'd never played before, so it's time for some tech support.
Tech support has arrived.
I just made that and I kind of wanted to use it. All right, let's go do something dumb.
Hey, Jack?
What?
Jack, where are you?
In the bathroom?
Oh, he's in the bathroom. It's a bathroom ghost. It's a bathroom ghost. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave right now because I'm already panicking.
A warrior. I shall
This is shared.
the darkness.
You want me to go first?
No. Oh, here's the noise. You go ahead.
Cool Walker is here, but he's having connection issues.
Invoke some type of free action from the ghost.
We got thingy friends.
Somebody said
I
hi.
hear whispering sounds. I don't like this.
Are you with us?
How are you? I'm a
Like, no one ever asks how the ghost is. They're just like, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, dumb question.
Who wants to live forever anyway?
Oh my god, I just
Strobing
saw her.
light.
She's in the corner.
Run!
Oh my
Run!
god, get me out,
That's
get me
hunting!
out. Oh no, 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 no.
I'm just casually like, whatever.
Don't shut the door on me, asshole.
I just saw her. Oh my god.
Oh, she's killed. I'm dead.
No. Did we get insurance? No, you only get insurance if you brought stuff.
I just love everybody losing their shit. And I'm giggling the whole time.
I'm not going back in there.
This game is so much better in VR, but I'm not playing it anymore for I forget the reason.
Go.
He's probably still sky fucking around in the house trying to tickle the ghost or something.
Well, he can't in ghost form. I'm hoping he can hear us on that, and he'd have to leave because I can't actually take this thing away with him in the ghost form. So we're about to find out.
I have no idea what any planet.
In VR, it can be a little scary, but generally, I'm not like I don't get scared in games. Like if you notice, my heart rate never moves. Like in almost any horror game I play, like I get stressed, not afraid in horror games.
Well, that explains why we can't see him.
Should not be wandering around by myself. My heart is pounding.
Are you here? I'm hearing noises.
Oh no, I hear his
All right, I'm gonna stop that there. But y'all got to see like an old, a younger, fatter version of me because like I have lost weight and I'm really proud of myself. There you go. I do miss that chair though. That chair was really comfortable. But yeah, I've got a stupid amount of older videos if y'all want to take a look. I actually have a shit ton unlisted. I enlisted almost all of them. But the playlists are still there, so you should be able to access them. But I playlist everything for some reason. All right. Are you guys wanting to see me play a little bit of Elden Ring, or are y'all enjoying this vibing? You'll see, like I still got a little bit of cheek, but my cheeks are not like as much. I've also put back on muscle because, like, for a long time I just slacked off and didn't work out, and now I'm back to doing that. Pretty proud of it. Still weigh a lot more than I did back in the Navy. Let me check my Discord to see if anybody's got anything they want to yell at me for, like, because some people will message me while I'm doing this to like, hey, here's stories you talk about. Oh, I want to show off some of Mike's minis he's putting together. He's probably gonna get mad at me, but he never watches my streams anyway, so he won't know unless someone tells him. No one tell him. Walker immediately messages him. So yeah, that's him just doing some of his Adeptus Mechanicus stuff. This is like the progress he's making. I'm super jealous. Like he is so patient, so good at this shit. I can do like digital artwork, but I can't do that. He's that's my good buddy Mad Techie. Yeah, that's right. It was. You weren't having internet issues. Your mic wouldn't connect. That's right. Hey, like he can yell at me if he wants. I'll apologize, but he's given me permission to show his shit before, so shouldn't. I don't think he'll kill me. Let's see here. Not art. Memes, I guess. I don't think I have any memes I need to share. Oh, okay. We got some adorable stuff here. We got some adorable stuff. So, Steve Irwin, may he pass, or may he rest. This is his son going as Loki with Alligator Loki. It's adorable. I love it. I love it. It's so cute. The world needs more of this kind of cuteness in the world. Because like both him and his sister they take after their dad. They're both batshit crazy when it comes to like with animals and stuff, and they just seem like such wholesome people. Like I love this. Well, the good news is if Mad Techie comes to kill me, he has to come to my state first. So, yay. And here's the last one I'm going to show of memes. There you go. Just like hulked out chickens because someone put a 3D printer thing on them. I just love the dramatic posing of like the middle one. I love it. There's like no reason for it. There's no reason to do something like this, but it's so cute and funny. I have to talk about it. All right. Apparently, Amanda Barnes is in trouble right now. I'll explain who that is in a second if you're younger than me. So Amanda Barnes was like this big actress back in the day, like a young actress. And apparently she had a mental breakdown. And was recently found in Hollywood, like just being crazy, like worse than the Britney Spears breakdown, which with respect to Britney Spears, because like I think she deserved her breakdown because all the shit she was going through. Not deserved as in bad way, like she should be forgiven for her breakdown because of the shit she was going through. The way the world was treating her. All right. I think I got one last story that I've kind of been dabbling with that I've been paying attention to. So details about Starfield have been semi-released. For those who don't know, Starfield, for those who don't know, Starfield is the next. Starfield is the next. I always heard she wasn't a good person, but anyway, Starfield is the next big new IP address from Bethesda because Bethesda has been relying on Skyrim or Elder Scrolls and Fallout for a little bit. So their next new one is like a true sci-fi one, which is really interesting. I'm looking forward to it. They said there's going to be no sexual content in it, but there is going to be drugs in it because they got the Australian rating, and the big deal why the Australian rating is a big deal is because the reason why Australia's rating is so important is Australia is really good about being precise on what they're talking about. They don't just go, hey, overall, this thing is an NC-17 or whatever. They go, hey, it's R18 because of this reason. So if you're a parent, you can look at it and go, I don't care if there's drugs in video games. I don't care if there's sex in video games. So the fact that it's got an R18 because of drug use means they're going to probably follow suit with like how Fallout games have drug use as stems and stuff like that. And don't forget we have Resident Evil 4 remake coming out soonish. I don't know if I want to play it. Like I do like Resident Evil 4 and all that stuff. I just don't know if I care. I think that's what I got. I think that's all I got. Unless I'm going to stream me playing some Elden Ring, which I don't know if I should. Because to be honest, like I do the video games as a backdrop for when I have nothing to talk about. I would love to be able to do content more like Moist Critical, for instance, where I'm able to just sit here and do this, like talk to my audience, have fun, talk about what's going on in the news. I just usually don't have enough topics to cover. And I don't like being a Let's Reactor. Oh, I actually lied. I have one more story. I love talking about speedrunning stuff, and I haven't talked about this. So, hey, video gamers, we can pack it in. The greatest challenge in all of video games has been achieved. We'll never be able to top this. Like, no matter what you do, won't be able to top this. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. Where is it? Where is it? I saw it. Oh, here we go.
How are you at?
So Carl Jobst is a no, it was actually a Mario 64 one. Although the fish thing is fucking hilarious. I'll explain that in a second. So Mario 64 is like one of the most speedrun games. I think it's Doom followed by Mario 64. Like I could be wrong. There's a lot of speedrunning going on, but Doom's like one of the oldest. Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina of Time are like two of the other big speedrunning games. And GoldenEye's in there somewhere. Mario 64 has several big categories. You have any percent, beat the game as fast as you can by any means, which usually they don't collect any star, they just bullet hell to the end. But then you have various different star levels, 12, 16, whatever, 24. Then there's completionist runs. You have to collect all 120 stars to complete it. Okay, very difficult. Because you have to like sit through the whole playthrough, all that good stuff. Then there is blindfolded speed runs. Now, usually they get like, I think it's 12 stars for the blindfolded speedrun category. And they're wearing a blindfold the whole time. You can't peek. You can't look the whole time. And the reason why they get 12, the reason they get 12 is because there are 12 separate stars that are reasonable to get. There is a consistent setup that you can get. Like the environment's not changing, your character's not forced to move, but you can go get those stars. And over time, there have been like pushes to get some of these other more difficult stars to increase the star count for bragging rights or whatever. And now, for those who haven't played Mario 64, there are a couple levels where you are flying the whole time, or you are swimming in a whirlpool, stuff like that, where you're constantly moving, and you can only use audio cues, which there are none in those situations, to know where you're at if you were blindfolded. And somebody did it. Somebody did it. He got 120, technically 121 stars in Mario 64, completely blindfolded, and beat the game, which included beating Bowser blindfolded, which is its own fucking challenge. Carl Jobst does a good video talking about this.
Absolute legends. Who is the greatest Super Mario 64? In a longer category, it's still fairly.
I don't even think this is the right video.
Founded Super Mario 64 player
Hang on.
in modern history.
Here it is. I don't know why I can't find it. The impossible 120-star blindfolded Mario challenge easily. But the world first right here. Bubzia, who is one of the greatest, one of the several greatest. Oh, it's right there. Here's the video.
Hello, you absolute.
I'm going to drop it in chat because once again, I'm not a reactor. I don't like doing just let's react. If you're interested in speedrun stuff, Carl Jobs is really good. He's a speedrunner for mostly like GoldenEye, but he's a really in Perfect Dark. He's a really cool guy. He's being sued by Billy Mitchell because he called out his shit multiple times. But that's a longer conversation. And having just said that, I'll probably be sued. I'm waiting for the service to my door already for having said that. But yeah, no, like I don't think no Dark Souls runner. I don't think anything like that can possibly top someone getting 120 stars blindfolded in that fucking game. I don't think there is a way to top it. There are things that come close, like the no-hit run in the original Ninja Gaiden. That's pretty damn close because that was considered impossible because not only is Ninja Gaiden a hard-ass game to do, but the final boss had an unblockable attack that somebody found a way around. So there's that. In regards to the Pokemon speedrun thing, there is only one person in this category, and it's a multi-day category. Actually, there's a story about that, but I'll actually play the video on that one in a second. In regards to the Pokemon speedrun thing, there is a single Pokemon speedrun because it is the fastest Pokemon speedrun done by a fish. I wish I was joking. I wish that was a joke. An actual fish beat Pokemon. Now they did it on stream, and the fish, based on which direction it moved, the controllers would go. And the best joke about it, I'm not gonna just look up an article. It's boring. The best thing is, like, there's a moment where the Nintendo DS glitched out that they were using for it, and the fish bought like over $100 worth of Nintendo stuff. I love it. It was funny. He accidentally, like, it was just fucking hilarious. But anyway, they were able to get the money back on that. But yeah, a fish beat Pokemon Red, I think it was. Yeah, beat Pokemon. Anyway, now what you were saying to cheat. Hang on, I got one for that. That's actually been proven. Like, it's not as easy as you think. So Charlie Brown does a good video breaking it down. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. Charlie Brown, thankfully, is really cool with people like talking about his content. Hang on. If y'all want the link to this, I'll drop it to y'all. But here you go.
Despite the immense popularity of Super Mario 64 speedrunning, there is a comparatively small amount of people running the blindfolded categories, a testament to how difficult blindfolded speedrunning really is. And so it was surprising when I was on Twitch this week and was notified of another runner doing blindfolded 16-star runs. Blindfolded runs of Super Mario 64 have recently...
But he does a good job breaking out how you can tell someone is cheating.
However, there are clear differences between the runs that those already established players have done and the runs that this particular person is completing. The main difference, of course, being that this particular runner is creating fake runs and attempting to pass them off as real. I have
now, he did later apologize for this, by the way.
And I aim to show some of the clear discrepancies between this run and the genuine blindfolded runs of SM64 that are out there.
He was saying this was like his third or fourth time.
The author claims not to have practiced blindfolded speedrunning much at all, versus the things he's actually doing. He mainly claims to be using a combination of sound cues and muscle memory for most of his strats. Most speedrunners know, however, that visual cues in particular are just as important as muscle memory in many cases. It's very unrealistic to assume that anyone could just casually do a blindfolded run off of visual muscle memory alone, no matter how long that person has been playing.
I've tried to do stars. I can't do 1-star blindfolded. Like, even though I've played this game for years and years.
These are dedicated speedrunners who've done it for a long time. Cannot run it just without practicing the lack of visual cues.
Speedruns often employ what are called normalized strategies. A normalized strategy is any strat that is done in such a way that the outcome is always exactly the same. In Super Mario 64, many of these kinds of strategies can be employed. For example, moving in a cardinal direction on a controller with notches, using 2 slow walks to ledge grab at the corner of a platform, or punching against a wall to push Mario backwards a fixed distance are all normalized strats. As you can imagine, these kinds of strats are often completely different from the ones you would see in a normal run, and require hundreds of hours to properly learn. And yet this person is claiming to have a 33-minute time after openly admitting to having little to no preparation. Keep that in mind when you look at the so-called blindfolded strats that are claimed to be employed here.
So that's explaining the very basics of what a blindfolded speedrun should look like. Here you go. He's going into, like, I'm just going to show like this example, and y'all can watch the rest. I'll drop the link.
Looking at a legitimate example by Bubzia, you can see that a consistent setup with clear intention is being used in order to get onto the Chain Chomp's pole. Note the use of a notched angle and fixed camera in order to guarantee a direct path to the pole from the corner of the gate. Comparatively, this runner seemed to have absolutely no normalized setup whatsoever. He takes what looks like either an intentional death or a legitimate mistake, and then tries again a second time. This time around, he seems to be using an almost completely different, yet still unnormalized setup to get onto the pole. The unexpected hit that he takes here from the Chain Chomp should have immediately thrown him off, and yet he is somehow still able to turn around and recover. The runner seems to be using intentional mistakes along with fake setups to try to sell the idea that he is actually blindfolded.
So,
Many more of these will come up.
Now remember, you're using audio cues and fixed movement for all of this. And that's how they can tell when someone's faking it. Is if you're not using any kind of thing that's consistent and normalized, that calls you out right away. That's an example. But then if you, that's probably just the biggest one right there. And another thing is, like, throughout his stream, he had audio alerts on. So, like, at one point, I had one of the most annoying alerts I've ever seen, and it's the Mario coin noise on repeat for a little bit. And he had audio talk on, so, like, if you were to put a message, he would hear it. So, like, and remember, you're relying on audio cues to know where you're at. You would hear your character run into a wall or something like that. So that's how they spot you out. That's how they know. So if you think it would be easy to cheat, it's not. Like, you might be able to trick your audience into thinking you're pulling it off or you're playing, but ultimately any real speedrunner will be able to look at you and go, "No, that's fake." The closest you might be able to pull off for a little bit would be a TAS speedrun, which is tool assisted, and those can get spotted out because all speedruns have an inherent human element to it, which is not a good thing. It is the flaw, the mistakes that are built into the playthrough. Inconsistent movements, not taking the perfect straight line. And not to mention, most stream runs these days are done live on stream. Because there have been a couple streamers, specifically Minecraft speedrunners, have been getting in trouble for it, where they would record a previous run and then play it on stream and pretend they're playing to it. But you get busted pretty easily. There are a lot of different ways they know how, like, especially the community built around each game, because each game is different on how they can bust you. I've shared with this before. A Minecraft speedrunner got busted because they literally did the math on the chests that he was opening, and they looked at it and said, there is no possible, the drop rate for what you got was impossible. Yeah, exactly. That's actually an example, but I was actually talking about a different speedrun where they literally, like, they opened the chest and looked at what the rewards he got were and said, under the trillion different possible combinations, none of them matched what you got. So it is physically impossible for you to get what you got in those drops. And then after he got busted, he came out and said, yeah, here's how I cheated. He actually came out and explained all the different ways. Once again, Carl Drops does a good job talking about that. Oh, I didn't share the blinded speed run. There you go. Y'all can hit him up. Charlie Brown does some decent job, like, breaking down some cheaters as well. But if y'all want to watch the rest of that video, feel free. He does a good job breaking down, explaining what should be and what shouldn't be, all that good stuff. All right. I love talking about speedrun stuff. I really do, especially if it's a game I actually know how to play. Like, I've played Mario 64, so I kind of know what's going on in the game. I've played Doom. I kind of know what's going on in the game. I don't know all the tricks, but I know what they're doing. Elden Ring. I love talking about that. Like, if you want to bring up like a game that's talk about speedrunning stuff, I love it. Especially if it's a game I actually know. Like Pokemon Red speedrun is like less than a second. You never even leave the initial house. Zelda 64, aka Ocarina of Time, I think it's like less than 30 minutes by a large margin because like doing some of the most random ass movements, you teleport yourself to the credits. Now there's a separate category for you actually having to fight Ganon, but even then it's obscenely fast. Like your character doesn't get the Ocarina of Time, your character doesn't become an adult. You're actually still fighting Ganon as a kid. It's just freaking obscene. No, that's just in the 80% run that I'm talking about. Because there are speed runs that are dedicated to the that's cool. That's legitimately cool, actually. Unless you're talking about you don't play you like you tried playing it and you didn't, then that's still cool, actually. But no, but that's just the 80% run. Because like for instance, the one of the ones I was trying to actually learn how to do on Elden Ring, and then I stopped, was Elden Ring, no, the glitchless category, where you had to play through and you couldn't glitch, couldn't use exploits at all. And I was trying to learn how to do that, but I got stuck fighting the Godskin Noble. I couldn't beat him. That's like the first roadblock you have. I couldn't beat him. I was like, you know what? I ain't doing it. I even was running a mod for a bit that allowed me to reset. It was basically creating save states so I could fight him, fail or succeed, which it was always a fail, reset back to just before, do it again, rinse, repeat, never beat him. Not once. I came close so many times. Had a toe stub of health left, then he'd get me. I don't know if I'm just not good enough, but people were saying that the people were having issues beating him post-patch anyway. So it may have been that. Because like the first great rune you get is you try to beat Rickard, and then your spear, the serpent spear, becomes your primary weapon throughout the whole game. Mind you, there was a glitch for a while where it was basically like a chain gun. It was obscenely broken. Well, let's pull up a Pokemon Red speedrun. If you've got one shared, I'll pull it up. If you actually do have a submitted Pokemon Red speedrun. Let's see if I can find the world record one. Because I even have a video out about this. I think I have a short. All right, this is 3 years ago. They're saying it's the current world record. All right, we're going to start from the beginning. And remember, for this, you have to start from scratch. You have to be completely blank. So that's why his timer hasn't even started yet. It doesn't start until I think you hit start the first time. And he's obviously running on emulator because reasons. Now, one thing I don't like is like how they do the no time, like the timer. Since he's not in the game, it's not starting. Some games have that rule that like pauses doesn't count, and a handful of other. Like a lot of the opening is just literally you clicking for things. And yeah, I know I said less than a second. I meant less than a minute. My bad. It'd probably be even faster if you were able to skip all this. Yeah, I think you have to choose Gary's name to be John. You have to save and quit out fast enough on just the right point. Load back in. Now your Pokemon screen's all glitched up. There you go. He beat Pokemon. That quick. That's all he did. And I wonder how long it took for somebody to find that out, how to do that specific level of glitches. Because I know, like in Zelda, I know for the Zelda Ocarina of Time speedrunners, there is what's known. I'm pretty sure this is for all of them. There is what's known as glitch hunters. They know they can't speedrun the game themselves, but they try to find a glitch that can be exploited, and you can receive bounties doing it too. There's like $1,000 bounties for different games, even obscure games, and it's fascinating. You could probably, if you're somebody who's analytical and can like break down like different patterns and stuff, you could probably make a decent chunk of change being a speedrunner, or not a speedrunner, but a glitch hunter. Because like people who are interested in the speedrunning community, they'll set bounties. Moist Critical, he's actually set a few bounties himself. I think he set like a $10,000 bounty on something. There was a break the record live in Sweden where they were like trying to beat the speedrunning record for Mario 64, and I think like the person who broke the record made $50,000 plus a free trip to Sweden, which was kind of cool. But you had to do it live. You had to do it in their environment, which so fucking stressful. And it was done by Cheese, who's on again, off again, the world record holder for that game. He's a really cool guy too. He's got his own channel. Yeah. All right. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about. Any comments on like how I have things set up now? Like anything you do and don't like? While y'all are thinking about that, I'm gonna hit this because I want y'all to see it. Really proud of that. Really proud of how that turned out. Wasn't even intentional. Came out really good. All right. Well, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Actually talked about a lot more. A lot of this was what I was going to rant about yesterday, but then when the stream fucked up, I was like, you know what? I'm done washing my hands of this. Got a video coming out. It's currently, I'm thinking about Saturday because that's when I get the most views on my channel. Coffee Over Gaming, that is. And it's going to be talking about what is the voice of all things. So look forward to that. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't already followed, follow. Y'all know the spiel. I need to record myself saying this so I can just hit the button. Just the audio file, and then I'll take a sip of my coffee while it's going. Donate bits, become a member, subscribe. Whatever else I'm supposed to say as a content creator, take your pick. But ultimately, I do appreciate everybody being. I really do. On a more serious note, it does mean a lot to me. And today was an off stream. It wasn't even at a good time, and y'all came and joined me. Don't forget to give Cool Walker some love too. He's a good friend and he does good content. Hope to see y'all in the next one. All right, which should be tomorrow.